Hi there. My name is Ajai Ammachathram. I'm a professor in Hospitality, Restaurant, Tourism Management program here at University of Nebraska, Lincoln. We are in the East Campus. Um, the first question talks about a typical day in my job. I am not going to address my typical day in this video as a professor. But as somebody who worked in the industry, I bring 18 years hospitality management experience. That's what I did before I became a professor. So today I'm going to focus a lot on career and what I did in hospitality and what you could be doing in hospitality, restaurant, tourism management. Uh, so let's begin. Uh, a typical day in a job, this is one of the field I would definitely say, if there was a competition between various careers, hospitality is one of the field where you really don't have a typical day. One minute it could be a nice breeze, the next minute it could be a tornado, but those are the things which keeps you going. Think about it. If it's a boring job, Monday to Friday, you're sitting in front of a computer, it's it's not fun, at least not for me. And the best part about my career, my 18 years industry experience, is I was able to work in three different countries. Started in India, uh, where I finished my undergrad in hospitality, and then worked for airport catering, basically taking care of food service for all the flights which left a South Indian airport. I'm originally from that city. It's called Chennai. Then I came to US in early 2000s and finished my bachelor's degree, the 4-year bachelor's degree in New Hampshire. And then I had the opportunity to go work in Florida. I am a product of the Ritz-Carlton family. I was trained by them, did some time in Florida, but every time I moved, I had a reason to move because again, I have a doctorate and I wanted to become a professor. So my career path is a little different from most of yours. So graduate school, I went to master's, came back to Michigan, worked on my PhD, all that. But the beauty was I was able to work in Florida. I moved to Canada after that. I worked a little bit in New Hampshire, then did some time in dining services in Michigan, opened a few restaurants. In Canada, I was able to work in retail, food service. I also worked in a hospital serving patients. Again, food was the primary uh, phenomenon in all my jobs. And that's basically what kept me going. So there is no typical day. That's where I'm getting with this question. Every day is different, and it makes it interesting. Think about it. It is really interesting. If you had a boring day, same day again and again, people get burnt out. But this kept it exciting. And being in hospitality, you can meet a lot of people. If you like serving people, if you like dealing with people, if you like helping people, if you're organized, if you can create events, this is the career for you. If you don't like people, then you should consider accounting, computer science, or some other field. But this is a lot of fun. You get to travel. I've seen a lot of celebrities in my life. I was fortunate to serve Bruce Willis, Maya Angelou, um, Senior Bush, uh, who passed away a few years ago, President Bush. So you get to have a lot of fun as you travel and work in various places. The education you need to have a job, maintain your job, and move in your job, I would say at least a bachelor's degree these days, because within hospitality, restaurants, tourism, event planning, we have a lot of people who bring in a lot of experience, but they don't have that education, they don't have that foundation. It's people who have that foundation get to move up in their careers. So if you are thinking about it, I would strongly suggest get a bachelor's degree. And at UNL, we have a wonderful bachelor's program, and it is robust. And I'm going to quickly share a screen with you, which will talk about the various um, majors, I mean, various specialization we have within the program. So the program's name is Hospitality, Restaurant, and Tourism Management. And within our program, we focus on 6 different emphasis areas. So one is club management, one is event food and beverage management, event management, lodging, human resources, and tourism. So these are the 6 emphasis areas you're looking at. And in order to get a Bachelor of Arts in Hospitality, Restaurant, Tourism Management, you have to complete 45 hours of core requirements, 21 hours of electives, towards a 120-hour Bachelor of Arts degree. And the beauty of our program is you get to work in the industry while you're doing all this. Students are required to work 3 internships. It's hands-on, and you get to pick wherever you want to work. If you're inclined more towards restaurant management or events or within tourism or in lodging or in club management or in human resources, you can pick any of those emphasis and find a job or find an internship, and the university will support you for that. So we have a lot of student activities going on. We have recognized student organizations just within the hospitality program. One is the Club Management Association of America. The other one is Hospitality Student Development Organization and Nebraska Event Management Association. A lot of students do hospitality as a minor as well. They could be doing a journalism, an ad PR, a business degree, and have a hospitality minor. We also have a lot of golf, professional golf management students who could be doing our minor. And our minor is open to any student who's enrolled at UNL. So moving on to the next question, share some characteristics and skills needed to be successful in your job. I'm going to tell you a secret. Grades can only take us so far in certain industries. We don't look for people with 4.0 to run our restaurants, to run our hotels, to run an event. More than grades, yes, grades are important, don't get me wrong. It is absolutely important, but there is beyond grades. You need skills. I have seen students who have a 4.0, but they cannot even change a light bulb. Whereas I have seen a student with 1.8 or 2.6, but they can turn this place around in half an hour. They are organized, they have those skills. Those, I call them the street smarts versus book smart. So in order for you to be successful in this industry, you need to have that knowledge. That's your book smart. Those are your grades. You need to know what your field. You need to be passionate about it. But beyond that, you also need to be passionate about those skills. Sometimes, like I said in a few minutes ago, it could be like firefighting. A minute it's calm, the next minute it could be storm. So how do you deal with situations like that? your grades just won't be enough. You definitely need those skills, and that's something students in our program get a lot from their internship. We have a lot of hands-on courses. Most of our courses, especially within food and beverage with events, we do a lot of hands-on experiential learning. um, Students work in real events. They cook, they serve, they plan major events, and along with the associations I mentioned earlier, the student associations, they do a lot of jobs, to get their skill set ready for when they graduate. So if you are that kind of a person who can who can handle classes, who are okay and you're good with grades, but you're interested in getting those hands-on skills. You can do, you are organized, you can put events, you can serve people, you can take care of people, then this is your field. Think about it. As a hospitality professor, as a hospitality professional, I always say I have a small chip in my shoulder. The chip in my shoulder is, I tell the whole world that you work really hard, you work your tail off every year for that 2, 3, 4 weeks vacation you have, which you want and which you like to come and spend with us. That's the field we are in. Okay, you could be a doctor, you could be an accountant, you could be, an auto mechanic, you can do whatever you want, but nobody likes to go to these people unless and until they have an issue or a trouble or a problem. Nobody likes to just go visit a doctor to say hello. No, we go to a doctor when we have problems, right? It's never the fun trip, but people come to hospitality to have fun with us. And in that process, as an employee, as a professional who's serving them, you're having fun too. So that's the career in a nutshell. Basically, your skill set needs to match those requirements. If you're having fun, your customers, your guests, your clientele will definitely have fun, and you will move on in your career because, like I said, if you're having a lot of fun, it'll just feel like this is a hobby for you. You just come, you put up events, you make people happy, you like to see them smile. It's a win-win, right? So some of the advantages and disadvantages of career area within hospitality. I am not going to say everything is fine and dandy in hospitality. Yes, we have our challenges too, but definitely the advantages, the fun, the excitement, and the career opportunities outweigh some of those disadvantages. Okay, like I said, when everybody is having fun, they'll have to work, right? People like to have fun during their vacation, during holidays, during weekends. Initially, till you're getting into middle or upper management, you'll be putting a lot of hours on the weekends, during holidays. So that's a small sacrifice you make, but that won't be the case forever. Once when you establish your career, once when you get into upper management, you your team will take care of the business, and you could have a very balanced life. So I would say that's one small disadvantage, and that's only for a little while till you establish in your career. But hospitality being such a versatile industry, I would definitely say the benefits, the advantages, the fun, that outweighs some of the disadvantages. I always tell my students, anybody who comes into inquiring about our program, hospitality is an ocean, and you pick your stream of water within that ocean. Think about what I just said. A hospitality student can work in Houston, in NASA if they want, in Google campus in California. They can literally fit anywhere and everywhere where there is food being served, where there is lodging. your astronauts have to stay in a hotel or a room, right? So hospitality students are needed for that. They're going to have events, right? They're going to have meetings, they're going to have conferences, right? So like I said, Google Campus or NASA, it doesn't matter. A hospitality student can fit anywhere. So there is tons of jobs and tons of opportunities. I can guarantee you, if a good, passionate hospitality student puts their heart into it, they can find a job less than a week. So jobs are plenty out there. Right now, you probably heard COVID has kind of disrupted our life a little bit in hospitality. But think about it. Do you think people are never going to go into restaurants? Do you think people have completely sacrificed flying in airplanes, taking, traveling or going to destinations, taking a vacation? Absolutely not. The whole world is waiting for a vaccine. The minute they say vaccine is out and the therapeutics and all the cure for COVID is happening, the world will come back. They will come back to hospitality in flying colors, and they will need people to take care of them. So it's a small turbulence if you're thinking that, oh my God, I've been seeing a lot of news about COVID and hospitality, but it's just a small hiccup in the process. And we will come back. We will come back very strong. So the next question talks about beginning salaries and opportunities for advancement. Um, when you graduate, I'm hoping you'll be 21, 22, 23. You're probably young. My recommendation to a lot of my students is go travel out of your comfort zone. If you were born and raised in Nebraska, go to California, work for a few years. Home is always here. Okay, the reason I'm saying that is if you wait for an opportunity to arise in your hometown, that might not pay you well, that might, undermine your skills. But if you go searching for an opportunity, think about it, that's going to just, I have seen students right after graduation getting a $60,000 job and a mid-level management job, and they do that for a few years, gain some experience, and they always come back. So home is always waiting for you. And like I said, this is an industry where it's worldwide. You can go work in Europe if you want. If wine and cheese and all that fascinates you, maybe you can think about a career as a sommelier. So, like I said, jobs are plenty out there, careers. Um, with regards to salary and position, my only advice is go behind that. Don't wait for it to come to you. Um, Suggesting some classes to take in high school that could help prepare in career area. Anything hands-on flies. Okay, if it's that carpentry course or if it's that home economics course on stitching or on preparing food or putting an event together, if you are part of any group where you get to create an event, be involved. Those are the skills we need, because if you have those skills, if you are a people person, if you can organize certain things and make people happy in the process of serving, you've already started your career within hospitality. Definitely some of those courses, like I said, hands-on courses will always be the best. Here's my philosophy. Whenever I sat in a course where I had to read a book and I had to write papers, it was always like I'm reading someone else's work. I'm reading someone else's experience. But those courses where I had to get my sleeves off and start working, get my hands dirty, I had to get to the nitty gritty part of it. Those are the courses I still remember from my childhood days. After 25 years, I still remember that first culinary class I took in India. That's because I did it with my bare hands rather than reading it from a book because that's again someone else's experience compared to your experience. So it's not just that. If you have a passion for this industry, if you have a passion within social media, you want to be an influencer, you want to work in a resort, anything that is not just in your classroom, beyond your school, beyond your classrooms. I've seen students who just get inspiration on cake decoration just watching Netflix and YouTube videos. If that's what rocks your boat, get that started early in your career, because this is a fun and a fascinating career. It will always, you know, have plenty of opportunities for you. For the next section, I'm going to quickly share another screen. This is some of the careers which we have some of our students working in. So here's the list. So within each emphasis, with the bachelor's of degree in hospitality, restaurant, tourism management, you can read. I'm not going to read every single one of them. You can own a restaurant, you can be a restaurant manager, you can work in clubs, you can be a general manager in a club. If golf is something you like, you can work in golf side of clubs. And you can also be director of lodging if the property has lodging. With regards to event management, there is plenty of careers. You've seen you've probably seen some movies about wedding planners, or working in a cruise, working in a resort. We need a lot of event planners within our industry. A lot of our students emphasize in event management. And think about it. Think about all the logistics you need to go through just to even put a birthday party. Even for a small child, you have to think about the cake, you have to think about the decoration, you have to think about, how do you market or advertise or invite people, what is the menu going to be, when they come, where are they going to park, all the logistics for that event, right, from start to scratch, and everything in between. So if, like I said, if you are organized and if you're somebody who has those skills already, this could be a career for you right there. And then we have, like I mentioned, you can own a restaurant, you can own a coffee shop, you can be a banquet manager, you can be a bed and breakfast manager. And think about it, you can also work in the supply chain and the manufacturing side of food, because from farm to fork and anything in between, our hospitality students are a part of. And then human resources, you can also be a human resources analyst, a consultant, and employee relations, employee education consultant, a lot of things. Think about it. Hospitality is something where we comfort people, where we take care of people, and that's why human resources is more relevant to our field. It's a good emphasis in this program, because in this case, you're taking care of your employees and they are still your client or your customer, except that they are your internal customer. And within lodging, you can be a hotel, a resort manager, a reservation manager, a catering manager, a director of sales, director of housekeeping, front office manager, plenty of careers. And tourism management is also one of upcoming. Nebraska's second uh, highest revenue is through tourism after agriculture. So plenty of our students work for a Nebraska Tourism Commission, or you can be a tour manager, corporate travel manager, airport manager, flight attendant, or travel agent. So these are some of the careers. Like I said, it's an ocean, and you pick your stream of water. And the best part about our program is you have 3 internships to explore when you start here. So you get to choose. So the first internship you can do in a restaurant. If you don't like working in restaurants, the next one you can try is in event planning. You can go work for a wedding. Maybe that's where you found your heart, and you're more okay. This fits more to my needs. For your next one, you can either go more depth into event planning, or if you didn't like food and beverage or event, now you can try lodging or tourism or human resources or club management. So that's, this is a wonderful opportunity for students to experiment and see where your passion is within hospitality. And I cannot stop talking and saying that hospitality is an ocean, and the career opportunities within this field is endless. It's limitless. So suggest some volunteer activities. I think I already answered that question. Volunteer activities, and help prepare them for their career area. So be that volunteer. If your family member, if somebody is looking to, for all you know, it could be your younger sibling. They need a birthday party planned, or it could be an older sibling who needs a bridal shower help. Get involved. Look at all the logistics which goes behind it. Or if it's cooking which you really like, culinary, watch those TV shows and try to replicate those menu. It might not turn out exactly what like how Chef Emerald or Rachel Ray does it, but it's fun. You just had a great bonding time with your family, and in this process, you had a lot of fun. So go beyond those classrooms or screen time, and try to explore some of these hands-on skills. So I think I've spoken enough. I don't have much of special advice. If you're interested, you know who you are. If you're a people person, if you like serving people, if you like to please others and want to make others happy, and in that process, it satisfies you, it makes you happy, go for it. I always said that working within hospitality industry, I always found that little pleasure for me. I could go home after serving my guests and my customers and my employees, after serving them a whole day. It could be a 12-hour shift. Sometimes it could be more than that. Worked, but I could go home and you have that satisfaction. You have that little pleasure that I made others smile today. I took care of people. I served them. They were happy. They had a good time. So in that process, I had a good time as well. I always said that I could sleep like a baby, because I take care of people. That's what I do. And they come to me to have fun. In that process, everybody is having fun. So that would be my special advice, I believe I would give you. And I don't have any hands-on activity planned for you, but I'm going to ask you to probably go watch a few videos in social media and YouTube, Netflix. Watch about some of those giant cooking shows or giant hotels. There is a beautiful show about the mega hotels. Check those out. Those documentaries could amaze you. Maybe you've never given it a chance, but people have to do those jobs, right? And there's a lot of money to be made while you're having fun. And I'm going to stop there. Thank you. Thank you for listening. I apologize if this session was not where your heart is, but I hope it gave you a few insights. Always remember, grades are important, but it is what kind of skills do you bring to these jobs, and what kind of attitude do you have? Every day I come to work, even as a professor, I come here to serve. I'm a servant leader. That's the mentality I have. Yes, I am a leader, but at the same time, I like to serve people. Okay, whatever it takes, as long as what I'm doing is legal and ethical. As long as their requests are legal and ethical, I will bend backwards and take care of my clients, my customers. And like I said, I always find pleasure in doing that. And it was a pleasure meeting you virtually. And I hope this session was helpful. Good luck in your career. Hopefully, we will see you at University of Nebraska Lincoln in a few years or maybe next year. Have a great day.